Welcome to Level Up with Kia Baxter. Well, you'll discover purpose is a lifelong journey and requires an individual's commitment to self-development. Join me as I share my personal stories and tools on how you can constantly go to the next level. Welcome to episode 6 of Level Up with Kia Baxter. It is so exciting to be back in the studio recording number 6 podcast show today. So I'm so excited to, even hear your feedback on the previous episodes as well. Today, I know last week I did say that I was going to talk about how to, monetize your purpose or your dreams. We're not going to talk about that today. We are going to do that in a later episode. But today, because I get a lot of questions about this all the time, today I want to address how to overcome obstacles while trying to fulfill your purpose. And man, listen, this is something that every single person struggles with or deals with at some point in their lives. And so many people all the time when I get out there and I'm at speaking engagements and I'm doing my life coaching sessions, people always ask, what do you do to overcome obstacles? Because I know that life, can get real. Things can be thrown at you, obstacles can be thrown at you, or what have you. And so this is something that I definitely want to address today. Listen, it doesn't matter who you are or where you're going. You're not excluded. It's not just you, because sometimes people can think like, man, what is it about my life that I just can't seem to get on the right course? What is it about me that seems like everything is always going wrong when I'm trying to fulfill my purpose? Or sometimes people will look at other people and say, well, they've had a silver spoon in their mouth all their lives, or they've been able to do this because they were connected to this person or whatever. And so I want you to know that nobody is exempt from having obstacles in their lives. Nobody is exempt from things happening, or things going wrong in their lives, no matter what level they're on. Even people who are millionaires have obstacles that they run against. People who are thriving in their business. It's so interesting because I was talking to one of the celebrity credit gurus, and he was talking about how, a lot of celebrities have all this money and they are still not able to purchase, and I think I kind of mentioned this before in the last one, but they're not able to purchase the things that they want to purchase because their credit is bad. So those are obstacles that they go through as well. I mean, imagine having all of this money and you still can't purchase what it is that you want because you've made some mistakes in your past. And so I want to address that today. I'm not exempt from having obstacles and having stuff go on in my life. What happens is that you just begin to master overcoming them and not allowing them to stop you when something happens or stop the vision that you have for your life, okay? So I want to give you some tips on how to overcome those things today. Number one, the first step that I'm going to give you, because of course, like I always say, there are so many different steps that you can take, in order to overcome obstacles. But these are some of the basic ones that I think will help you on a daily basis. So the first one is, take it one step at a time. It's not like you have to rush to fulfill your dreams or to fulfill your goals. Take it one day at a time. A lot of times we have created these bad habits. We have created things in our lives that really hinder us from going to the next level. And so some of those things have to be undone or unlearned and relearned, okay? It becomes a process that we really need to practice, put into practice. And so some of those bad habits, even when I'm going to use me as an example, when it comes to finances, in the past, and I still indulge, but I'm a lot better at it because now I'm really working on getting credit together and because I want to eventually purchase some land or what have you. But some of the things that I was not disciplined in, I've got to now become disciplined in. And one of those is definitely shopping. I love to shop. I love to have amazing, beautiful clothes. And it's not to say that I can't still do those things. It just means that now I have to bring it down a notch, okay? I can't shop as much as I want to because I have a goal in mind. I want to save some money. I want to, build some extra accounts on my credit, and that's going to cost money as well. The other thing is eating out all the time. I eat out all the time. I'm not married. I don't have a family. I don't have kids. And so it becomes difficult because I'm always running around to this meeting, doing this or whatever, having this session. And it becomes difficult to just sit down and cook a whole meal. So a lot of times I just go out, I find something to eat, and I eat something. And that's even when it comes to, like, I needed to discipline myself on that as well. Because even when it comes to getting my weight together, because y'all know I be in the gym and stuff all the time, but it's maintaining, because I just went out of town and I ate so much food, burgers and hot dogs and all this different stuff. So even that is a discipline when it comes to other areas in my life, like fitness as well. And so we've got to begin to put into practice things that are going to help us to move forward. So get rid of those bad habits that you have. That's that one day at a time. You have obstacles. You're facing those obstacles because naturally there are consequences for our actions. They can be good consequences or bad consequences. That if you go out there and you're eating out every single day, burgers, hot dogs, all this fried food, that it's going to cause you something. It's going to cost you something, whether if it's your weight and even your health. So you've got to now get rid of those bad habits. These are bad habits that I had to wake up and I had to say, you know what? I'm not reaching my goals, my fitness goals, because I am not doing what I am supposed to do. So I don't, we live in a time now where people just want these fast results. I want to, see the results as soon as I go to the gym. My body is hurting right now. So I want to see all of the results right now. And it just doesn't work like that, because the reality is it took 2 years of me eating bad to get to the point where for me to get to the point where I said, man, okay, I am overweight now, or at least in my mind, I don't want to be this size anymore. So now I go to the gym for 1 week and expect for it to just be, gone. No, it doesn't work like that. It becomes a process. So make sure that when you are really trying to overcome obstacles, understand that it is a daily process. Take it one step at a time. Stop allowing social media and the success of other people to move you in the way where you feel like, oh my God, I'm not doing anything with my life. You are doing something with your life when you make a decision to say, one day, each day, I'm going to make sure that I am bettering myself every single day, whatever that is, okay? So make sure that you understand it's one day at a time. Take it step by step. When you see somebody on social media that's really out here killing it, moving and shaking or whatever, you don't know what they had to go through in order to get to that place. It is a lot that you have to go through, especially like I know even now, moving in a different direction with my business on the back end, there's a lot that needs to be done. And so now I have an assistant and I have a whole team and they're working some things out. And some days it's super frustrating. And, it's just a lot that, it's going to take in order for me to move my business to the next level. So I'm taking it one day at a time. I'm not going to stress myself because I understand that the efforts that I'm making every single day to better myself, to better my business, to better my life is going to be a part of the big picture that's going to create success for me, okay? So day by day, one step at a time. Number 2, make sure that you are affirming your life. Now, I talk about this a whole lot. Affirmations are so important. Some people think it's silly. Some people just really man, what you want me to talk to myself? You want me to really say, I am amazing, I am great, I am a winner? Absolutely, because every single day, every minute of every hour, you are probably having so many negative thoughts that come to your mind that now it is deterring you. It is lessening your confidence. It is really, put in some negative things into your pathway. And so you want to make sure that you are not doing that you are constantly reminding yourself of the positive things that are out there. So an affirmation is the declared truth. You can declare negativity over yourself, or you can declare positivity. And so we choose every single day to declare positivity over ourselves, because that is what's going to help us move in the direction of a winner's mentality, of a winner's life, okay? So every day, tell yourself something positive. I am deserving of the very best. This is my time. This is my favorite one of all time. I'm always going to say it. This is my time. This is my moment to accomplish and fulfill my God-given purpose. It doesn't matter what space I'm in, what year, what era. It doesn't matter. When I say this is my time, this is my moment, you know, that's not just for today. That's every single day. Nope, today is my time. Today I am in expectation that I'm going to meet somebody that I'm supposed to meet that's going to help me to go to the next level. Today I'm in an expectation that an opportunity will come because I have been one day at a time making myself better. So I am in expectation that today is going to be a great day, that today is going to be amazing, that today is going to be one that will be remembered. Okay, I can mark down in my calendar that today was the deal breaker. And so listen, affirm your life over and over again. You have to tell yourself, because our minds will believe it. Whatever it is that you feed your mind, it's going to believe it. It's going to, and then once you believe your belief system, I talked about this as well. Once you really have a certain belief system, that's what you're going to act on. And that's what your mind is going to get ingrained in your mind and your heart. And then that's what you're going to act on. So tell yourself positive things, because then you will attract everything positive. Everything that you want will become an attraction to you. So affirm it, affirm it, affirm it. The third one is be committed to destroying the system or structure that you're used to. Now, one of the words that I looked up that was so cool was disrupt. And disrupt, the definition of disrupt is interrupt by causing a disturbance or problem. By causing a disturbance or a problem. It says drastically destroying a structure. The structure is, this is kind of similar to what I was saying before, you know, really stopping those bad habits that you have. But when I'm talking about destroying a structure or a system, this is the thing that, you know, your mama did and your cousins did and your aunties did and your brothers did and your daddy did, that you see over and over again, and by default you started doing it as well. And so a lot of people say break those generational curses, but they don't take the time out to actually say, you know what, I'm going to destroy this system or this structure that I just automatically inherited. So you've got to take the time to really stop and say, is this serving me still? Is this structure or this thing that my mom or my dad did, is this serving my purpose? Is this helping me to become a better person? I remember asking questions. See, I've always been a, you know, person that asks questions, and it got me in a lot of trouble sometimes, even on my jobs, because, you know, people just get so used to a system that sometimes they're going along with the flow, and they don't even understand why they even do it, you know? And so I asked my mom one time, and she was saving the plastic bags, and I'm sure a lot of people know about this when you are saving those plastic bags. And I'm like, Mom, why do we have to save all of the plastic bags that we get back from the grocery store? And she just looked at me like, what are you talking about? This is just what we do. Put them bags over there or whatever, you know? And I was just like, that didn't make any sense to me. So when I moved out when I was 19, I was like, okay, this doesn't make sense. I'm going to save a few bags and all the rest of the bags are going in the trash. Like, why are we saving all these bags? Now we have cabinets and cabinets full of plastic bags that's wasting space. So, and that's what I mean about system. Now that was something, you know, petty, but, there are real serious structures and systems that our families have created that we don't even realize is not serving our purpose, that is really hindering us from moving to the next level. Now, my dad is a person, and I mentioned this in my very first one, who is Kid Baxter, that I met my dad 4 years ago. And it was very interesting because I really got an opportunity to see where I got a lot of my stuff from. My dad is, he's rough. He's rough around the edges. Our lifestyles are totally different from how he grew up and how I grew up. But when I met him, I really began to see where I got a lot of my personality from, a lot of my aggressiveness, my go-getterness, if that's a word, but my ability to just overcome, any situation and make the best of it. I really got a chance to see that. And then the other side of me, which is, I know, I'm cute and everything, honey. But I mean, I really have this side where I don't play. Like when it comes to my business, when it comes to my life, I don't play with people. I don't. I have this really, just another side. And I didn't understand it. And so there are some things about him, though, that I noticed that I had, that it was just kind of like, wow, when I saw him do it, I was like, dude, that's where I got that from. I need to stop that, And he is, older, and he's kind of one of those people that's like, I'm not changing for anybody. This is who I am. Take it or leave it. I'm not changing for anybody. And he'll say it quickly. He's like, that's probably why I'm not married now, because he doesn't want to change anything. But me, I'm committed to looking at the things that I do that came from him, that was inherited by him, and saying, hey, listen, I don't want to carry that or even impart that into my children and then allow it to keep going. I'm going to stop this right now. I'm going to challenge my attitude, the way I deal with things, the way I handle things, and move forward, okay? So that's what I mean by being committed to destroying the system or the structure. The other thing is, when it comes to your dreams in systems and when it comes to your dreams, we've been taught a certain way as well, that it's supposed to look a certain way, or you're supposed to do it a certain way. Be what you feel. Do it how you feel. God has given us this ability to be creative. And a lot of times, even when it comes to business and entrepreneurship, you really have to be creative. You really have to create programs and systems and all of this different stuff that's going to help you to make another stream of income. Because, doing it systematically, it may not work for you in your business. If you've done it, if you're trying to model it after another business, God didn't give you their business plan. God gave you your business plan. And so it's going to take some creativity for you to get out there and create some different systems and some different structures that are actually going to be legendary and pave the way and create a whole new legacy, right? And so, you can't say, oh, I've got to do it like McDonald's did it, or do it like how this corporation or this Fortune 500 company did it. You've got to take what you've learned. You can apply some of that stuff to your business, but then take your own creativity and create something different. Create it the way that you see it, the way that you envision it, and it's going to resonate with plenty of people. It may not resonate with everybody, but that's okay. It's going to resonate with a lot of people, though. Like, oh man, why didn't I think about that? Or this was something that was so needed. I mean, I've started so many things ever since I can remember being a little kid. I would look at different things and I would be like, man, this would be cool if we just had this program. And so I remember probably when I was about 15 or 16, I remember creating this club that was a non-smoking club. I was so against smoking, especially cigarettes, and I still am. I can't stand the smell of cigarettes. No offense to anybody if you do, but that's just me. I just really don't like cigarettes. And then I understand the health, the health issues that come with it as well. But so when I was 16 years old, it was like 15 or 16, I started a group that was like a non-smoking group at the YMCA. And we had these shirts that had like a cigarette on it, and it had like the red, and I'm sure you've probably seen this before, but it had like a red, you know, what you call that thing, the little thing that's like going in between it, like stop stop smoking, non-smoking, or whatever. And we literally would we were teenagers, and I would spearhead it, and we literally would do these workshops with other teenagers about the effects of smoking. That's how passionate I was about it. I started it, and they let me write my program at the YMCA, and we went around to other YMCAs and taught about smoking and the hazards of smoking and doing drugs, and eventually it kind of got into other, you know, like drugs and stuff like that. But I was really serious about smoking because I would see people do it, and it just really irritated me so bad. So listen, create your own system. Be committed to destroying the system or structure that is really not serving you purpose in your life, okay? And the last thing that I'm going to talk about today is always remember that God is with you. You are stronger than what you think. When situations come, you know, I get all kinds of people coming to me and saying, you know, you don't understand what I'm going through right now. You know, my bills are not, I can't pay my bills. I just lost my job. My children are acting crazy. It's just everything is going wrong in my life. I don't have the financial capital to start this business or start this dream that I have. I don't have any of that. And my thing is always this. If God gave you the vision, he's always going to give you the provision. I'm a living testimony. I'm a living witness of that. Because when I started my business, my first business when I was 23 years old, I was in an abusive relationship. And at the time, you know, this guy, he had a lot of money and he would spend it all kinds of ways, but he did not want to invest in my business. So I took $100 from my paycheck that I was when I was working in property management. I took $100 and I went and got my business incorporated, or LLC, and I bought I went and got registered with the America's Mart, which is like the wholesale mart, right? So I went and got registered with them, and I went and bought $100 worth of jewelry and accessories and all this stuff, and I took it to my church members. And when I took it to my church members, man, I quadrupled it. Like that jewelry that I got, I quadrupled the money that I actually made. So I was like, I can really do this. So I went back, bought some more stuff, did the same thing, and I was like, okay, now it's time to take it to the next level. So that's how my online women's clothing store started. And so I always tell people that you just have to start. Whatever it is that you have, you go for it, you do it, you ask questions. You don't stop until you reach your goals or you see it manifest. Because a lot of times we have issues with asking for people's help. And there's nothing wrong with asking for help. I remember when I started, because even with my business, I wanted to branch off into doing fashion designing. And I went and sat under this guy. I found this guy who was a very popular fashion designer here in Atlanta. And I said, listen, I just want to intern with you. You don't have to pay me. I just want to come and sit and just watch you and do whatever. You know, you tell me what you need me to do. I just want to be in the atmosphere of what you're doing. And I do realize that everybody can't do that. Everybody don't have the time to sit under somebody or what have you. But these are some examples of me being relentless and me not stopping. I had to make sure that I was creative, and I created ways and for me to keep going and to see my dreams live out. And eventually I was able to do a launch party. I did a soft launch at my apartment. Then I did it at a venue, and it just took off. It really just took off. And I was even amazed at myself because this was an example of me creating a lane that I hadn't necessarily seen before. I just did it. And this was actually before all of these. Now we've got millions of online women's clothing stores that people have started. And I'm one of those people that's shopping on those sites of these little, the small businesses, boutiques, and all that stuff. I love it. But this was before that was super popular. People used to actually think that it was like a big, like that I bought into another corporation, but it was my business. So this was me being creative in spite of the fact, like I told you, I was in an abusive relationship. I was working a regular job, and every day almost he was calling me names, telling me that I couldn't do it, really trying to hinder me from doing my business. And that was actually one of the reasons why I shut my business down at the end, was because it was just too overwhelming for me to try to maintain this abusive relationship and the business at the same time. But then eventually I started it back up. Okay. So because I had to remove all of that toxic stuff from my life. Right. And so that's what it's going to take. Some of this stuff you've got to remove. And that goes back to taking it one day at a time and really bettering yourself, recognizing that everybody that's a part of your life may not need to be a part of your life, or you need to distance yourself from them if they're giving you negativity. And that goes for family members too. A lot of times we just think, oh man, but that's my mama and that's my dad and that's my brother. Listen, if it brings toxic things to your life, to your mentality, to your peace, all of that, then you need to remove yourself from it, because it's going to hinder you and it's not going to go away. It's just going to keep festering and you're going to get more and more frustrated. So listen, God is always with you. He's always going to give you creativity or creative ideas. But if you're not in the position, if you're not positioning yourself mentally, physically, emotionally to receive it, then it's going to be hard for you to receive it. But God is always with you. He's always going to give you the provision for your dream and your vision, because it came from Him. It didn't come from us. We think these deposits of these dreams and these visions that we have are just coming up out of nowhere. No, they're coming from God. Like, for real, they're being deposited into us every day. That's why I love my time to myself, when I can just really meditate and I can really focus on creative things, and I could really allow God to speak. God, what are you telling me to do right now? Because sometimes you do get in those moments where you feel stuck, especially when life is, really obstacles are coming at you and things are happening around you. Another tool that is very important is writing things down, writing them down. God says in the Word, write the vision, make it plain. Listen, write out plans for your life, for what's happening. I've been through the process of being evicted from an apartment as well, and I know how stressful that is. It's very stressful, but sometimes it's better to just let stuff go and keep it moving. Accept the fact that, okay, this has to go. Because sometimes we just struggle. We struggle for no reason. It's like, okay, I'm behind all this stuff on my rent. But sometimes it's just best to just let it go, find out, hey, can I come stay with you for a little while, or whatever it is that you have to do, because then that's where your peace comes in, and sometimes you just have to rebuild all over again. Listen, I've been there. I literally lost my entire apartment a long time ago after this abusive relationship was over, lost my apartment, lost everything. And once I let it go and I released it, that's when God really opened doors for me. I was stressed out, like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. But man, He had a whole room, and I talk about this in my story on the first podcast. So make sure you go back to episode 1 so you can hear the full story. But I talk about me being homeless, me sleeping in my car, and me also being set up to where I had a whole room to myself for 6 months, rent-free, food-free, until I rebuilt my life over again. So I'm not just saying this from a place of, oh, it's going to be okay, and I've never been through anything. I'm saying this from a place of a person who has literally lost everything and rebuilt my entire life all over again with the help of God and me trusting Him. So listen, obstacles are going to come, but you are more than capable of overcoming them. You are stronger than you think. This life, as long as you are living, as long as you have breath in your lungs, you can and will, if you keep affirming it, fulfill your God-given purpose. There is nothing that can stop you except for you. When you make up in your mind that, man, this is just a season of my life that I'm going through right now, that God is teaching me, He's training me. I'm going to take it one step at a time. I'm going to really focus on getting myself together, and I'm going to move forward. When you do that, there is nothing that will stop you from reaching your goals. And I'm telling you, that testimony is going to be strong. It's going to really help some people to go to the next level. It's really going to motivate some people, because people need to hear this stuff. You know, I get, like I said, people talk to me all the time and they tell me their issues, and they're like, but you have this and you have that, and you don't have any kids, and you don't have a husband, and you don't have this. And I'm like, but you don't know my story, and you don't know the things that I've been through. And I'm so thankful that I don't look like what I've been through, and I'm not living like what I've been through now, you know. And it's just by the grace of God that I came out. And even now, I still have so much more that's in store, and I can get excited about that. Every single day, I'm excited about the new possibilities and the new things that are going to happen in my life that's going to motivate me even more, that's going to inspire me even more, that's going to push me forward every single day. And listen, when I get these stories, and when you tell your testimony, when you come out of this situation, because you're going to come out of it, and this is for people who are going through something right now, you are going to come out of it. You are going to recover. When you do, when people hear your story and you're able to tell your story, you're going to really even be motivated even more, because you're going to be like, man, I helped somebody. Every single time somebody says, thank you for that. Thank you. I needed that. When they say that to me, that's that reminder in my mind, like, you know what? You can't even quit. You can't even afford to quit. You can't even afford to get down on yourself or feel like you're not doing enough, or feel like, oh, you have so much work to do. Yes, you have work to do. But it's so worth it, especially when you're able to motivate other people. Because I always say this life is not about us. It's about us, but it's not about us. It's about us elevating so that we can help other people to elevate. And it's about us leaving behind something that will not be able to be erased. Leaving behind something for our children and our grandchildren, leaving behind this legacy. I'm so excited, because I'm just like, I want my name to be written on somebody's street by the end. When it's all said and done, I want a street name, you know, household name for my family to have. It's so many things that I want, right? But however God has written it, I have accepted that. I'm just going to keep moving in the direction of those things that I envision and how I see my life going. So let's recap. Step 1 is take it one step at a time, day by day. You are stronger than you think. Number 2 is make sure that you are doing your daily affirmations. Write them out. Right? I remember my mom used to do this when I was a little kid. I used to write affirmations out. That's why I'm so big on them right now, because they really did help me. So make sure you write your affirmations out. Add to them every single day. Number 3, be committed to destroying the systems or structures that are not serving you any purpose anymore. Listen, break those generational curses, but you have to be intentional about doing that. And number 4 is pray. And always remember that God is with you. If God gave you the vision, He is going to give you provision. Listen, I hope that this helped you today. This is how to overcome obstacles while trying to fulfill your purpose. Don't ever stop. Whatever it is that you see or envision for your life, you have to become relentless. You have to become unstoppable. And you have to apply these things in your life. Write them down. Write down every single day goals for yourself to accomplish. And this is when you even become more and more motivated every day, that it doesn't matter what is being thrown at you, that you're accomplishing things in the midst. There was still movement. God shows up in your movement. Things happen in your movement. People want to help you in your movement. I mean, think about it. If you loan somebody some money or do something for somebody and they just sitting on their behind every day, you just gonna be like, I'm not giving you anything. But when you see somebody trying, you want to help them more. So listen, your movement is very important in this season. God wants you to fulfill your purpose. He wants to see you create the legacy. He wants to see you be the person that he designed you to be before you even formed in your mother's womb. So thank you today. I hope that this helps some people. Thank you for listening to Level Up with Kia Baxter. Let me give you my contact. My contact is on Instagram, I am Kia Baxter. On Facebook, I am Kia Baxter. And my website is IamKiaBaxter.com. Thank you again for listening to Level Up with Kia Baxter, episode 6. I'll talk to you next week. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of Level Up with Kia Baxter. I would love to stay connected with you. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram at I am Kia Baxter. For upcoming events and products, visit my website at IamKiaBaxter.com.